Overnight we got about 3/4 of an inch of rain, and that filled up our collection buckets, and I'm just going to go around and talk about what I found in the collection buckets and what we're doing with them. We get these black plastic buckets from a florist. Up until recently in California, it's been illegal to collect rainwater, and recently they changed the law, so now you can capture rainwater, and as long as it doesn't hit the ground you can collect it. So we've set up all these plastic tubs because in California a lot of the houses are built without guttering. Now the reason they didn't build the guttering, I guess, is that what's the point? You just let it flow onto the ground. The water department collects the rainwater as it trickles down and they treat it and sell it back to you. Now what I've been doing here this morning is collecting the rainwater. We had enough rain to fill up a lot of buckets, and with the buckets come earthworms. I've already poured some of the water out of this black plastic tub, and on the bottom is a mass of red wrigglers. They are the earthworms that we have here, and I'll just pour them into the white bucket. You might be able to see it better. Maybe you can see it a little better there. But they've crawled into this bucket and they're sitting at the bottom in a mass. It's a lot easier to see in the bottom of this white bucket. And what they have done is they've climbed up the sides of the bucket and into the water. Now the reason they're doing that is they travel through the soil. When their tunnels get wet, because they breathe through their skin, they look for a dry place. So what they'll do is climb up the edge of the bucket thinking that they're going to safety, and once they go over the edge they end up in water. They can move about on slick surfaces like snails can. From here I'm going to dump this into our rainwater barrels, and I just pour the water in. Now I just have to pick them up, drop them into the bucket, or I could drop them straight back on the ground. What they're doing is they're looking for a dry, safe place, and that's why they're drowning. So I've collected quite a few earthworms, and they can go back into a planter. It's fairly dry in the planter. And the rest of them, they can just lean the bucket on the ground and they'll find their way out. The earthworms we have here are called night crawlers. They're very sensitive to light, so they come out at night. We don't use compost earthworms, and we just let these earthworms pretty much come into our garden by themselves. They come out of the wood chips. They can climb up pots. People wonder how they climb up pots. Well, like I said earlier, they're just like snails. They can climb slick surfaces. I know this is the hard way to collect rainwater, but it's the only way we've got right now. So I fill up the buckets, I bring them over to the rain barrels, I pour it in. When the rain barrels are full, or over summer, I attach a garden hose to the bottom spigot, and then I drain the water down the hill to our avocados. Eventually I will put spouting on the roof of the house and use the drain to drain into the barrels. A number of people have asked questions in the comment section of Robbie's videos as to whether she adds worms to her tubs, and the answer now is no. They come along by themselves. If earthworms can get into a bucket like this that has slick sides on it, they don't have any trouble getting into her planters or her tubs. Tubs have got holes in the bottom, but even if they don't go through the holes, they can easily scale a plastic tub like this. In the beginning, I used to collect earthworms and I used to transplant them into tubs, but I don't find that necessary anymore. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, feel free to subscribe. If you want to be notified on upcoming videos that we put up, please hit the bell button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to eat what you grow.